Hey, 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 TikTok. Welcome back to Mindful Nuggets. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. We're in another Monday, second week of February, and we're rocking this. We are rocking this. So, welcome, everyone. Come on in and join us for your daily dose of Mindful Nuggets, where William and I come out here every single Monday, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we mix up leadership. Well, it's mindset with nutrition that equals leadership. And today we are wrapping up our seven-part series on the word nourish. So we have Mr. William coming in. Give me just a minute here. We are going to pull him in. I have invited him, so we'll just wait for him to accept. There we go. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Come on in. Welcome to Mindful Nuggets. Mr. William is coming in, and I got to get this hair out of my face. It's really bothering me. It's not working today.
Fly away here.
Oh, hello. We are here. We are here. I know I have a smaller clip somewhere. I just can't find it. How are you, Mr.
Hello.
William? How are you? How are you?
I am great today. It's Mindful Nuggets Monday.
That's right. That's right. Mindful Nuggets Monday. Yes, it is. I love Mindful Nuggets. I'm really enjoying this. We're wrapping up our seven-part series today. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right?
Biblically, seven too.
Right? Right? I was
7
hoping you'd
days,
point
seven
that out.
scriptures.
Right? It is, and we talk about this all the time. We talk about, numbers, the power, of numbers. We speak
Always.
upon that. We've also, been speaking upon the word nourish and what that means, right? Oh, I can see now. The hair's out of my face. Yes, I love it. All right. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm about ready to just shave it. Let's just shave it and go. I'm ready. All right. So today, our letter, welcome everyone. Welcome. Today, our letter is H. And H stands for healing. Healing. So today, Mr. William and I, we are going to go over the letter H in our word nourish for our seven-part series today. This will wind out our last part of this seven-part series. So everyone who's watching, we would love for you to get into the comments. And over these past 7 weeks, what have you liked? What was it? Give us your feedback. And if you haven't been here over the past 7 weeks, many of you have. I see you back here, so welcome. But if you haven't been here for the past 7 weeks, we want to invite you to come over to our YouTube channel, Mindful Nuggets, and subscribe. Go check those out. Let us know. We want to hear in the feedback. What is it you would like for us to continue moving forward with? This is mindset with nutrition, and that equals leadership because you are the leader of you. And today our word is H, and H stands for healing. So,
Yeah.
Mr. William, take it away. What is healing?
Well, let's start it off on a good note for Monday. How about it? And let's start it
Absolutely.
off biblically. And let's go to Proverbs 17:22. A
All right.
cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. All right. So that being said, laughter is great medicine. That's first
Absolutely.
time. And then if we're under a crushed spirit, meaning that we're depressed, sad, or things like that, then that's not healthy for us at all.
Right.
So we want to start this week off being in gratitude and be cheerful and joy and declare joy as a way of being in our lives today because that is telling ourselves we have an expectation to live that way, at least for today, if not for
Absolutely.
tomorrow. So when we create that statement that I have an expectation, then I'm going to start looking for joy.
Right. Well,
I'm
let's
going to
ask our
find joy.
audience. What are they grateful for today? Put us in the comments. What are you
Yeah,
grateful
tell
for
us what you're
today?
grateful for
Happy
today.
Monday. Happy Monday. What are you
Yeah.
grateful for today? Stick that in the comments for us. We'd really like to know. We want to share it. We want to acknowledge you because you matter. That's why we're here. If you didn't matter, we wouldn't be here, but you matter, and that's why we're here. So, All
Yeah.
right, so emotional health, it has physical effects, right? So if you're not joyous, if you're not happy, if you're not in gratitude, what does that do to our, overall spirit? Let's talk about the spirit first.
Well, if we don't have any hope or expectation in our life, we're just wandering in a drift. And a lot of times that drift is depressing. And it pulls you
Yeah,
down. It sucks your energy dry. And just for anybody who takes their hands off God for a moment, you're on your own source. You're not being charged up by Him. That's why He says in Psalms 147:3, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Well, in order for that to happen, you got to put your hands back on Him, because
right.
He is the source of the fruit, where you do have love, peace, and joy, and everything that comes with it. And it does take discipline at the end of it in order for us,
It
because a
does.
lot of times the world wants us to stay disconnected, and we try to solve things on our own power and our own mind.
Yeah, we do.
It doesn't work that way. It just never has. In fact, we never use the best weapon to heal or to block any type of an attack on ourselves, because we don't look to Him first.
Right,
We go ask everybody else, well, how do you fix this?
right.
Or can you tell me what's going on? Or getting opinions. It's go to Him first in everything. But He heals. All right. If you want to be
Absolutely.
healed from starting from the spirit all the way up to the body, that's where you go first. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so look, for those who are hurting, just meditate. Just ask Him. Just talk to Him. He's your dad. Love on. He wants to love on you. He really does. And
Absolutely.
He'll find that. But for even if you're feeling bad, just to say that I'm going to be joyful today is declaring it. You can shift your energy. You can shift your spirit. And if you're not feeling it, call somebody and talk to them. All right. So
Absolutely.
just
Absolutely.
call somebody
What
you
can
hadn't
we
talked to
do?
in a long time, or just
Absolutely.
say
What
hi. How are you
absolutely.
doing? How are you
Reach
today?
out. Reach out. There's always a supportive source somewhere in your line. And if there's not, guess what? We're here. We're here. We can be your supportive source. So reach out. Let us know. How can we pray for you? What do you need us to, give you an abundance for today? All
So
right. So let's move forward.
yeah,
We talked about the emotional side of it, the joyous side
it's
of it.
heading right there.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go into the healing side of it. Let's go into the intentional practices of all of this. So, what about the brain? How does the brain really, get into this pattern of changing the mindset and getting into that joyousness? I was talking about this past weekend to an individual who was, struggling, right?
Mhm.
Because I offer services to, for people who need to reach out in crisis. Um, and we were talking about how, the stress really elevates, their blood sugars, their blood pressure. Like we were noticing these things. Um, but when we started talking about journaling, we started really cracking into the spiritual side. All of a sudden, you just heard this voice completely change. So, would you like to elaborate on that? How does the spirit really come in and really work in that direction and move people in that mindset?
Well, the spirit, when you're inhabited with the spirit, is really an interpreter, communicator, an instructor. It's an alignment source to God's will on it. And it helps you interpret words, for one, and what they mean at the point in time that you're emotionally ready to receive what that word means. And it also allows you to understand and see patterns. When I ask God to search me, then that's what I get through the Spirit. And then I start, when I'm journaling, I'm writing these things down. And if I go back like a week or a month in this journal, I'm starting to see these patterns now. And the
Right.
Spirit will identify that for you. And then you'll say, oh, I see. And so this
Mm-hmm.
one little shift out of this pattern is like I'm consistently feeling this way over and over again. And it's documented and it's been over 30 days. Then you realize that's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One that you created. So how, it's a way for you to focus back in on
Yeah.
yourself and realize, oh wow, I really do see this pattern of behavior here.
Yeah. But
And
see,
when we recognize it, we begin to shift, right? We begin to see how we can get up underneath it basically and move it. But what kind of support system do you really need here? I mean, you need God. You do. All in. I'm all in. That's the first thing I do every single day. I do not go anywhere or do anything until I've done my time with God. He is first and foremost in my life, 1000%. I know not everybody believes that way, and that's okay. But I find that when I go back, like Mr. Williams said, and I look through my journal and I see my patterns of behavior, it's easy for me to get up underneath it, and it's easy for me then to see how I need to shift it. But I also need a support system. So go ahead, Mr. Williams, explain all of that. How can they get a support system? Where can they go for that?
I think the very first thing that needs to be identified is where do you want to go in your life? What is it that you're wanting?
What's your vision?
What's your journey? What's your vision? And then I would start looking for people that are like-minded in that area, because we're never going to get out of the mold or get out of the situation unless we break it and break the
Right,
routine and break. And sometimes that means breaking relationships
right,
in order to get to the place that we need to be elevated in. And so
right.
I would pray over that first. And again, I always go back, seek God first in all things. All right. So, when I asked him to reveal these things to me, he will reveal them to me, and he will guide you as you're going through his journal. Okay, well, I am stuck in this mindset, and then I don't look at where else is this mindset being reinforced around me. All right. If that's keeping me stuck in this area, then I need to look to a place where I can go to where there's something new and renew my mind.
Exactly, exactly.
All right, and then
Yeah,
that could be a Bible course. It could be small community groups. If I'm living in stress all the time, find something that's fun. Go do an art class, crafts class. Go, find something different that shifts your energy, and more importantly, make new connections.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about faith, power, and healing. You sent over this verse, Mark 5:34. Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be free from your suffering. Faith actually activates the healing, not just spirituality, right? Is that what you're trying to convey in this message?
Faith is the opposite of fear.
Okay,
You can't have faith and fear. That doesn't work.
right,
If you're fear, you don't have anxiety, and anxiety is going to destroy hope. And anxiety is circular. You don't
right.
continue to worry and worry and worry, and not an hour is gained in your life from the worrying. And
You lose time,
most of it's just perception. About ninety
right,
percent of it is self-made, and it's just because we have uncertainties, because we have nothing to hang on to. Hope matters,
right,
and when you have hope, you're going to develop a positive path to get out of that situation. And then when you start having the faith that it's going to happen, you're going to start releasing the chemicals in your brain called dopamine and
right.
serotonin, in which that is a place to help you you explain that better than I do actually on that
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as the
So
chemicals go, but
dopamine,
it's
yeah,
elevation. It's an
right.
elevation,
So
it's
yeah,
positivity.
right. So when the dopamine levels are increasing, the mind starts to shift. Okay. So how do we increase the dopamine and serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine? Right. Get out and walk. You've got that moment in that time where you're really just stressed, right? You need to do something. Get up off of this desk, go walk. Go stretch, go work out. The minute that you shift that body and start moving it and getting the muscles going and getting the heat going in the body, the dopamine activates, the norepinephrine activates, and all of a sudden the mind starts going in a different direction and thinking another way, taking it off of the situation that was currently having you really stressed out. So, with that being said, that also needs to go in a nutritional state as well. So, we need to nourish the body just as much with
Mhm.
spiritual nourishment. We need nutritional nourishment, right? We need good food nourishment. And one of the things that William and I have done here over the past 7 weeks is that we have given you an opportunity to understand how to shift the mind, like we just spoke about, how to get into your spiritual side, but also how to nourish the body with good nutrition and get yourself moving in a right direction that you're longing to be in, whatever that vision may be. Remember, Mr. Williams spoke in the very beginning of today's podcast here about how we need to be mindful of what we're taking in, who we're surrounding ourselves with. And I kind of want you to reiterate that from last week before we start moving into our actual, part of the podcast and moving off of this for today. So go over last week, surrounding yourself with people. Can you just highlight that? And then let's go into what the last part of Nourish means.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Um, we're the sum average of the five closest people in your life, statistically. And I can tell you this: if you're hanging around negative-minded people, it's going to drain you. Even though you're most positive in the room, you will not perform at your best.
That's right.
It will pull you down, and you're just going to pull you down to play a smaller game because of that. When you
Let's
start
give an
playing,
example.
huh?
Let's give an example. How did you and I come to be? What made us do this? 7 weeks ago, this was just a thought. We were like, let's just go for it. Let's see what happens out of it. So what was it that you and I had that made this connect that I want people to see the value in?
We were both looking for a higher way of being, to get out of the rut of our lives, create something, because we had it in our gut, really do, that, there's more to life than this mundane living, to settle for the mediocrity of things. I've had that in my entire life. And I just strive to be the best version I can be, because I lived a life, and you did too, Michelle, that was in disparity.
Right.
And it cost us almost our lives.
Right.
And that's no way to live. We were not meant to live that way. We were meant to live in joy, to live boldly, and to not be in a spirit of fear. We weren't created to be that. We were explorers, curiosity, creating. Just imagine God made it a sandbox. We have this huge sandbox, and if you can imagine, your parent is watching you build things in the sandbox. They're getting joy from that because you're creating. And God is the same way. He gave us all these things to create with. But what are we doing? Exactly that. We're doing and not being. We're not being creative. We're out running around doing task lists and having an expectation that we need to do all these things. And that's not right. The equation's off in to begin with. And I want to go back to that verse, Mark 5:34, your faith has healed you. Well, come out to doing this. Have some faith to be. Make that leap. All right. It's a decision. Simple choice. I declare I've had enough in my life. I've put up with this long enough. I'm sick and tired of it. I am making the decision right now. I'm going to change. Well, that change just has to be a small tippy-toe step in a direction that can transform your life. And this is what one of those decisions are right here. It was, we decided we wanted to get out in front of people to minister to them, to share our experiences and contribute and to give and uplift people, to give them an opportunity to see there's a better way. And the way we get to know that is hang around people that are going somewhere that you want to go in life. That's
you
what
want
I
to be
said
a
earlier.
six-figure earner, you need to hang around with six-figure earners.
Well, you need
want
to go
be
seven. That's what I'm saying. You need to
Exactly.
go, if you're at 6, you need to go 7. If
You
you're
need
7, go
6,
to
you go
8.
7, you need 7, go to 8. Exactly. And that's the example that I wanted to put out there. So if you're sitting right here, right now, and you're not a six-figure earner, we're encouraging you, and that's what you want. We're just saying, we're giving an example. And that's what you want. You need to surround yourself with those people, those individuals who are those individuals.
Well, let's talk about this for a second, too. Let's talk about our health.
Right.
All right, let's talk about Western health. Exactly. We go to a doctor and we get prescribed medicines. And pharmaceuticals are gaining from that. And the pharmaceutical medicines a lot of times does not even address the root problem to begin with. Nourishment starts with that. And if we look at our nourishment, it's horrible. And we're the worst country in the world.
We are.
Seriously.
Our food is the worst. Yeah, our food is absolutely not even comparable to the other.
No, and thankfully the administration is looking into this now, make some changes. But we can't. My point being, when I said that, I'm not a political person by any means. But what I'm saying that is, we're allowing them or expecting them to correct our problems when it's our choice. And we
Right.
need to be responsible and accountable for our own lives. And we can start right here and in our own homes. We can transfer by getting the right information, the right tools, and around the right people. It doesn't
Exactly.
have it's health, wealth, relationships. All right, those
Well,
are your three main buckets. And above
exactly.
those is time and connection. So you got time. We all have time. We all have 24 hours a day. If you don't have time, then you really need to stop and analyze what you're doing and flip it over to creating to be, because there's something wrong there. And if you're struggling with money, that can be fixed too. All right, that's
Exactly.
usually a trust issue or is not enough education to get you to a spot where you can have. That's what
But you
we're
can't
talking
take a
about.
chance. You can't take a chance on yourself and move yourself in that direction. So
Yeah.
anyone is capable of learning. Anyone is capable of moving forward in any direction that they so choose. All right, and that's one of the things that we want to tap into today. So, one of the things that Mr. William and I have been able to come together and even more so on and give an opportunity to everyone is today we are hosting an actual, it's not a workshop, it's just an informational meeting. We're hosting that for you all today. It will be on Zoom, so you do need to register, and I will put that in the link down here below when we get done with this live. But we are hosting an informational regarding, do you know your health number? If you don't know your health number, and in light of today's world and everything that's going on, we're encouraging you to come over and learn your health number because it is something that is vitally important these days. Understanding the value of the food these days, what it nourishes is back to you, but understanding also the value of your own health number. So if you'd like to know more about that, reach out to us. I'll put the link down in the comments later. Mr. William, we're going to wrap this up. So we just finished. This is a complete 7 weeks.
Amazing, isn't it?
I know, and like I said, this was just a thought. We came together because we both are, we both were tossed away by the Western medicine world. We were tossed off by doctors. We were given our last rites, basically. And here we are. I'm 11 years cancer free today. You're 5 years. Is it 5 years transplant?
5 years now,
5 years.
going on six, and you know, God is great. I'm living, got great health considering what we were, and again, it goes back to choice, everybody, and
Yeah.
you can choose differently. And the biggest thing is get informed.
Right.
Get informed,
Get
and
informed.
if you get informed with well, let's put it this way, Michelle. I'm going to use for example, if you don't mind. You were told to take a bunch of different pills and you were told to do this, that, and the other. And then you were told you were going to be written off anyway.
Yep.
You don't have
Yep.
to accept that because somebody says these things to you. You don't have to have pills. The thing is you need enough education to make a decision. Without enough information, your options are limited. That's my point.
Be
Because you're
willing to do
accepting
the
from an authority source that to be true. And a lot of times it's not the truth. It may be true to some extent, but it's not the truth. And
right.
you need to get to where you start questioning these things. I know in our generation and our generations before, we gave authority away and trusted these people. We trusted the FDA. We trusted everything because they were an authority. Well,
Now we're
have a
finding out
checkup.
differently.
Have a
Yeah.
checkup and
Do your
start
research.
questioning.
Start questioning. Absolutely. That's what I did. I started questioning. I started asking questions. Being a nurse, being a nutritionist, being a certified diabetic specialist, I had the education and the knowledge, but I also was in the field. So I trusted what was being told to me. And as I kept going on, and it just wasn't getting any better, things just weren't going in the right direction. I felt like that was, my last straw with Western medicine. And it was my last straw with Western medicine. I tossed the 19 medications back and said, not taking them, not doing it. See you later. And you're fired, and you're fired. And I left. That was the end of it. My
Does it
husband's
feel
been
good to say
left.
that?
It was. It does feel good to say it,
I did
actually.
that to mine,
Um,
a couple of them too. You're
right,
done.
right. Absolutely. So, with that being said, today we are wrapping up our 7-part series of the word nourish. N was for nurture, O was for optimize, U was for understanding, R was for restore, I was for inspire. Last week, the letter S was for sustain. And today, the letter H for healing. What a great way to wrap it up. Healing. I
Yeah,
love it.
because that's what we all need right now. We're all having
That
some
was
sort of challenge and
awesome.
healing. But I tell you what, I'm going to leave you one secret. Comes, I want you to join us at 3 o'clock. If you don't know your health number, you should, because 98% of people around the world are out of balance. And so
Yep.
I encourage you to come check. And it's an easy thing to check, and it's not very expensive to check. But my goodness, it can certainly transform your health journey forever by knowing
Yes,
this number. All
yes,
right.
it can. I've got my number. It's sitting right here. I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
I will reveal my numbers at
Come
2
join
o'clock
us.
Central, 3 o'clock on the East Coast.
Hmm.
Come join us, ask questions. That's what we're here for. And learn from the experts. We've got some more people joining us. It's not just Mr. William and I, but we will be giving you your informational part of it. All right, everyone, if you enjoyed our 7-part series, or if you haven't been able to really be here all 7 weeks, you can go over to YouTube at Mindful Nuggets. Our
Hmm.
podcast is loaded up over there.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Please subscribe to us today. And we do have a donation, such a donation part to that. If you'd like to be a part of that, would you like to explain that? And we'll wrap this up.
Sure. I mean, support us, if you would, in the creative mode to help us bring shows like this and to continue education. We will be bringing on additional speakers as we go along too, and we want to hear from you as well. A donation could be monetary, but also a donation is a thought, a contribution, something that you would love to see, something that's encouraging that you want to share. A story, that a health story would be great. We'd love to hear from you about that and how you overcame.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Reach out to us if you have a health
yeah.
story anywhere similar to us at all. We would love to hear it. And not only that, bring you up here. Let you tell your story. You
Yeah.
never know who you're going to motivate or inspire or say, yes, I can do that too. And then they reach out and we are healing people. We're putting them on the right track to the journey of a better way of life. So reach out. If you've got a story, you want to share it with us, we'd love to talk to you, put you out here, get you going, get people hearing more and more just exactly how food heals, treats and prevents chronic illness and disease.
And
But if you're also
mindset.
a leader, your mindset, absolutely. If you're a leader out here and you would love to speak upon leadership and mindset, we'd love to have you. So again, give us your feedback. We want it. Go over to YouTube, follow us there, stay here with us as well. We got more coming. We will be back every single Monday. We
Oh,
just wrapped up
absolutely.
the 7-part series and we got more coming your way. So,
God bless
welcome
everybody.
everyone. Have a great day. We hope to see you over at our meeting today. We'll get that registration link over to you, or DM us and we'll get
Either
that
way,
over to you
either
as
way.
well. All
Yep.
right. All right, guys. Have a beautiful wonder day, Mr. William. I will
Mm-hmm. To
see
you
you
too,
here
dear.
very
Thank you so
soon.
much.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. God bless you.